Last I checked, you were in the USA. When did you come back?
So I travel to South Africa between 8 and 10 times a year. So I'm almost 50-50 between here and the United States.
All right. Can you please explain to us the significance of us being here today?
Look, I think the two main and most important drivers for being here today was to bring awareness to South Africa's onshore oil and gas industry and the potential opportunity that is available with the resources underground. And then the second is the fact that having the minister here today and having the minister see firsthand, and incidentally, this was his very first ever visit to an oil and gas operation in the country. We think that that is so critically important to bring awareness to the industry in South Africa.
Since this is the minister mentioned this is the country's first onshore gas project, what phase are we on now?
This is phase 1, and we're in the throes. The plant is constructed and is operational. Now we're busy completing the drilling, which will then get this project up to its full nameplate capacity. Next year we'll be kicking off with phase 2. Phase 2 will be approximately 12 times the size of this from a gas processing perspective, and that should be operational within a few years after the commencement of construction.
And how will the local community benefit from this project?
Again, I come back to one of the major themes for today and the importance of what this project is for the region. And a lot of what today was discussions on a special economic zone, or an SEZ. We've got a lot of appetite from foreign companies that on the basis that we could create an SEZ around a complex where you've got an abundance of clean energy and you've got an abundance of helium, you have the ability, it creates a catalyst to set up a number of really high-tech industries. And these high-tech industries need big factories with lots of employees. That's going to bring in a lot of foreign direct investment, and it's going to create a lot of jobs and a lot of upskilling, because these industries have incredibly specialized job opportunities. So there'll be a massive transfer of skill, and that will just have a multiplier effect with regards to the entire economy at large.
Speaking of numbers, what is the estimate of the people that will be employed at the project?
So at the moment we're up to 75. During the construction, it created about 350, I believe, temporary jobs. The second phase, we're going to increase by 250, and then that will also be accompanied by a further 1,000 or so temporary jobs. That's just the gas portion. Then when you start to look beyond that, all of the potential factories and the potential synergies of additional entities operating within the broader economic zone that we're looking to create, that will result in thousands of jobs.
I mean, given the strategic importance of helium and LNG globally, what role do you see South Africa playing in these markets, particularly Free State positioned as a potential hub?
So there's two parts to it. There's the helium side. Helium is strategically, obviously, critically important to the world, and South Africa doesn't consume much helium. We obviously would love to change that with an SEZ. You'd have more industries locally consuming helium if it's produced here. But on a global scale, our phase 2 project will be about 8% of the entire planet's helium supply, so it's quite meaningful. That doesn't mean that the field can't do more. In fact, the field has reserves which would go well beyond that. So we could actually see South Africa become one of the very, very large helium players globally. The LNG side, South Africa is very dependent on external supplies of energy. Currently our gas comes in via pipeline from Mozambique. Everyone knows that that gas is now being curtailed. Customers are going to be weaned off the pipeline towards the back end of this decade. It's critically important that as a country we start to develop our own indigenous energy resources. And the criticality of that is that if we're buying even just 1 unit of energy locally, it's 1 unit that we didn't have to import. That means that we're not paying someone else's profits, and we're not sending our currency overseas, weakening the rand. So we have to develop our energy onshore. That is absolutely critical. And this project paves the way. It shows the world that in oil and gas in South Africa is investable.
Thank you so much, Steph.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Let's